So a couple days ago, I came across a video on my TikTok feed that just destroyed me. It just crushed my giant man heart. And there's good reason for it. I'm gonna show you that video here, and then after I'm done showing you that video, we're gonna talk about it a little bit. I'm gonna go into a little bit of a rant. And if you've been following this channel, you know that my phrase here is trying to make sense of a world that no longer makes sense. And this really does hit home for me because I have kids as well, but let me show you what I'm talking about.
Nobody turned up. I have thrown all this party for Jamie for his 7th birthday. So the problem is that not everybody understands Jamie, and he is a bit different. He's struggling making friends, and I was hoping that this would be a breaking point. This party could sort of help him. And I'm sort of just disappointed that other moms don't get how hard it is, and they didn't put a bit more effort into making sure that their kids do turn up. Because sadly nobody had a decency even to call us and tell us that they can't make it. So I don't know. So Jamie's crying upstairs now. His dad is trying to obviously make him feel a bit better, but I don't know. It's just very, very, very upsetting. Okay.
That is hard to watch on a few different levels. First reason is because I feel absolutely horrible for her husband, and their son. I believe it's a boy. Second off, everything that she did, in my opinion, was 100% correct, because that is 100% what I would have done. I would have reached out and I would have tried to have had kids come over with their parents to this birthday party where there was ice cream and cake and games. And then that way the kids could have come over, they could have had some fun with her son, and they would have said, hey, this kid is pretty cool, let's hang out with him, we'll be friends, and they would have lived happily ever after. But there's one thing that she didn't take into account: the parents being assholes. And what I mean by that is, well, let me explain. If you're the kind of person that somebody opens the door for and you don't say thank you, you're an asshole. If you're the kind of person that somebody lets you pull out in front of them during heavy traffic and you don't wave, you're an asshole. And when you're the kind of parent that gets an RSVP for a party, a kid's party, and you don't respond, you're an asshole. Now, a lot of people might say that, well, I'm busy. You're not that busy. And I gotta be honest with you, you're not getting that many RSVPs every year. And if you do, it's probably gonna stop because people don't like assholes. I mean, it's not like these people had to, rip a feather off a bird and dip it in some ink like Ben Franklin and sign something and then mail it. It's basically probably a Facebook yes or no, and nobody responded. Now, some people might have said, well, if she didn't get any RSVP, she should have known that nobody was coming. And that's not really how it works, because I've thrown a lot of parties. Again, I have 2 kids, and a lot of people sometimes just don't RSVP and they end up showing up, and that's not right either. I also have people that say they are coming and then they don't show up, which is also an asshole move. But in her heart, she wanted to believe that there was going to be kids there and that her son was going to have a good time and make some friends. And when that didn't happen, she was just probably petrified and mortified and probably just heartbroken along with the father. But who do I blame for this? Well, here comes the rant. My generation. Now, I'm Generation X. And all you hear on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and blah, blah, blah is how great Generation X is. We did this and we did that and we got away with that and latchkey and blah, blah, blah. I got a video on it. I'll put it at the end of this video. You can check it out. But we always talk about how great our generation is, how we just did everything that we wanted to do and how fun it was. But when it comes to our own kids, we won't allow that to happen. We don't want our kids to associate with other freaking kids. Why? I don't know. Maybe they were scared that their kids were going to do what we did when we were younger. And that's a fair point. But at the same time, are we isolating our kids now that we don't want to spend time with anybody, or we don't want them to have friends? It's weird to me. Generations that talk about how free we were just want to keep our kids on the couch staring at our screens. And we see this over and over again. I guarantee you know somebody that allows that to happen with their kid, where they just don't look up anymore. And for the people that just can't take the time to say yes or no for a kid's birthday party, I just look at that as, what if that was your kid? What if that was a kid that you had and you were trying to help and nothing you did was working, and then you thought you had the plan, you thought you had something that was going to help your son or your daughter, and then it just made it worse because you have adults that are just too good to even say yes or no to something, and it's quite frankly sickening. I associate these people with the same type of people that won't put their buggies and their carts back when you go to a grocery store and they just let it ram into the side of your door because they're too lazy. Years ago when my kids were just born, we moved into a neighborhood, a development, and I thought to myself, this is going to be amazing because there's going to be other kids here and they're going to play with each other and they're going to make lifelong friends like I did when I was younger, and it's just not the case. Kids don't want to play with kids anymore, and the parents actually seem to prefer that nowadays. They don't want their kids to go outside. They don't want their kids to make friends. They don't want to deal with the hassle. So if we, the free generations, making it that bad for our kids, what are their kids going to be like? I can't even imagine. I really don't know what this video is supposed to do other than maybe say, listen, we need to do better as a society, as a people. My tagline on this video is trying to make sense of a world that no longer makes sense, and this really just doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't you want your kids to go out and experience fun? And to be honest with you, I could see if somebody were to say, well, I don't want them hanging out in this area because it's a bad area. This lady looked like she had money. She was all dressed up. Her house looked very nice. Like, you would think this would be the place to go. And if you did have any issues with it, you go with your kids because it's probably a younger kid. You don't just drop your kid. You just hang out, eat some cake. If we don't fix this, and I'm talking to Gen Xers and millennials because we're the ones that are screwing this up. I don't care how good you think you are, how good you think our generation is, it's trash unless we fix this. I'm telling you now, our kids need to be around other kids. Our kids need to be having fun like we used to have fun. We made it. I'm here talking to you. And I know a lot of you are seeing the exact same thing that I'm seeing. That right there is just disgusting to me. So just take 5 seconds out of your day and respond. Yeah, we'll be there. No, we won't be there. Yeah, I'll put my card away so it doesn't smash a hole in your door. Yeah, thanks for letting me out in traffic. Yeah, thanks for opening the door so it doesn't smash my face in. I don't know, this video really bothered me. I did want to point out one thing that she said. She said her son was a little bit quirky, a little bit different. I want to tell you, little dude, Jamie, that is an awesome thing to be. That's an awesome thing to be quirky. That's an awesome thing to be different. Different from the boring, the bland, the recycled types of people that you see everywhere in this world today. Because one of these days you're going to find your gift and you're going to be able to share it with the world, and nobody else is going to be able to do what you do, my friend. Would I rather have somebody that's different, or would I rather have somebody that's exactly the same as everybody else? I'll choose different 100% of the time. Now, there is one more thing I want to point out. Look at these comments. Look at this comment section. Look at all of the support that this lady, her husband, and her son Jamie is getting from all of these strangers that don't even know him. These are not people that live in his community. These are not people that go to his school. These are not his neighbors. These are complete strangers taking the time to type out a sentence on a computer screen that they don't even know this person and leaving that support. And that means the world to this lady. But why does it need to be a complete stranger? Why couldn't it be somebody that she actually RSVP'd to reach out and say, hey, listen, can you come over and spend a little bit of time with us? Why does it have to be somebody she's never met before? Good on these commenters, and good on her and her husband and her family for making this video. Listen, if you're somebody that's trying to make sense out of a world that doesn't make sense anymore, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, check out this video right here. We'll be back with more videos soon.